Hollywood icon George Clooney has once again found himself in a heated public exchange with the White House, demanding an artless adult debate culture from the U.S. government under President Donald Trump. Clooney's strong words come in the wake of President Trump's recent threats against Iran, which included a warning of the end of Iranian civilization. The renowned actor and activist initially spoke out in the northern Italian city of Cuneo, where he reportedly stated that the destruction of a civilization constituted a crime. This comment directly referenced President Trump's assertion that political differences should not lead to crossing a line of decency. Clooney underscored the gravity of the global situation, telling the industry magazine Variety that with families losing loved ones, children being harmed, and the world economy under immense pressure, this is a moment for intense debates at the highest level, not for what he termed childish insults. The White House, never one to shy away from a confrontation, swiftly responded. Steven Cheung, President Trump's Communications Director, hit back in an interview with The Independent. Cheung controversially claimed that Clooney was the only one committing atrocious war crimes, citing the actor's terrible film and miserable acting abilities. This personal attack further escalated the already tense verbal sparring. Undeterred, George Clooney fired back in the Variety magazine with a characteristic blend of humor and pointed criticism. He cleverly embraced the jab at his acting career, quipping that he could live with being called a failed actor, especially given his role in the 1997 comic book film Neil's Batman and Robin. But beyond the self-deprecating humor, Clooney posed a more serious and fundamental question. How does the U.S. government defend its current approach to these critical international issues? This latest verbal skirmish is not an isolated incident. George Clooney has long been a vocal critic of President Trump, and the two have engaged in public word battles on numerous occasions over the years. Clooney, who shares much of his time between his villa on Lake Como with his wife, human rights lawyer Amal Clooney, and their children, has consistently used his platform to advocate for human rights and political decorum. His ongoing advocacy highlights a broader concern among many regarding the tone and substance of political discourse in the current climate. The demand for an arduous adult debate culture resonates deeply with the public yearning for meaningful dialogue on pressing global challenges. The back and forth between a prominent Hollywood figure and the sitting U.S. president reflects the polarized political landscape. As President Trump, inaugurated January 20th, 2025, continues his term, the spotlight remains on the nature of political communication and the responsibility of leaders to foster constructive engagement rather than escalating rhetoric. Clooney's remarks serve as a powerful reminder that in times of significant international strain, such as ongoing geopolitical tensions and economic uncertainties, the language used by those in power carries immense weight and can either exacerbate or alleviate global anxieties. His call for decency and mature debate emphasizes the importance of statesmanship in navigating complex world affairs, urging a shift away from personal attacks towards substantive policy discussions that address the real-world impacts on families and global stability. What's your take on Clooney versus White House decency debate heats up? Share your view in the comments. Do you think this will matter in the next news cycle? This video was generated using artificial intelligence.